Okay, so this is part 2. Now we're going to really see the power of this program, because although this is okay, what I drew, I'm not happy with it. So what I want to point out to you is down in the bottom left hand corner here, there is a timeline. So if I move this back, it'll go back to the beginning. There's nothing. Okay, and we go one step and there's a sketch, and I can see the sketch. Where is the sketch? There are the sketches, and if I turn the sketch on, there's my sketch there. Okay, let's put the origin on as well. Okay, there was that origin. And now I'll go on to the next step. Then I extruded it, and then the next step is I did another sketch. So let's turn that sketch on. There we go. Do you remember the ridge and the lettering? And then if I go on to the end, that was it extruded. It looks a bit funny, but that's because I've turned all the sketches on. So if I now turn them all off, now it looks like it. We can change the appearance of this by which one is it? No, this one here. So visual style. Let's choose wireframe if you wanted to, or shadow with. That's what we had before. Yeah, that looks a bit better without those lines around the outside. But actually, when you're actually drawing, that's the best one to have. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to change it. So I think it's too deep, right? I'm going to make it shallower. So if I go back to the extrude, the original extrude, and right hand click on there, I can now edit the feature. Now I could edit what I want it to extrude, but I'm happy with that. But it's just the feature. So it's basically this. So I'm going to make that into 5, and then I'm going to OK it. Right, and now it's run through the rest of my steps, and it's redrawn it with a thinner base, and I think that looks a bit better. Also, on the one that I showed you originally, I put a raised bit here as well, which I thought looked rather good. So it's this sketch here, this sketch number 2, which I need to alter. Right, so that's this one. Okay, so if I hover over it, it tells me it's sketch number 2, and I can edit sketch. All right, so it's put it flat for me. And remember, on this I had the writing and I had this ridge around the outside, but I want kind of a ridge here as well. I think that looked rather good. So I'm going to get the circle tool, and remember I've entered the sketch, so it's adding something extra to the sketch. I think that looks rather good, but I want it to kind of go across there as well. So I'm going to put a line here, I think. Will that work? Yes, there we go. And I'm going to zoom in just to be 100% sure that it's actually in the right place. There we are. Right, so there's a lot of lines there. Some of them I don't need, but it doesn't matter. And let's just zoom out so you can see it. So there's obviously, a few bits of line here which I'm not going to use, but it doesn't matter. Right, so I've finished sketch. Now it still looks the same. That's because I've got to go and edit this extrusion. All right, so edit feature. And this time I want to see I've got 5 things selected. I want to add that, and I want to add that, and that little bit there, and that bit there. So it's kind of filled up that corner. Okay, now let's see what that looks like. There we go. Turn the sketches off. So turn them off. Sorry. There we go. So see, I've put that corner on there. I think that looks better. Now, looking at this, I think this would be good if this corner was rounded as well. So let's go to this. Now, this is so I did the sketch. I created the shapes by using extrusion, and now I can modify it. So I'm going to use a modify, and this time I'm going to put a fillet on there. So a rounded corner. So I want it on this corner here. So I'm going to choose that edge there, and now I can drag that arrow in, and I can make it, that's too far. So that looks about right. Now I can't really tell because it's in 3D. So I'm going to go turn around and put it in 2D. I'm going to zoom out and zoom back in so I can see it. Now I could, I think the radius has to be 5, so that it's the same as this. Let's see, shall we? So I can click on this and just type in 5. Yes, that looks perfect. All right, and also it'd be good if that was curved as well, and this was curved as well. So I'm happy with that. Let's just check what that looks like in 3D. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now we could do another curve here, but I think I'm going to leave it how it is. I'll tell you what I'd like to do is to make the base curved as well. So let's just turn it over. Now down at the bottom here you've got some tools that enable you to view it. So this orbit tool's really cool. As long as you're inside this circle here, don't know whether you can see it, this you can click down and you can rotate around like that. Now we're going to have a look on underneath. Okay, and I want to put a chamfer on these bottom edges. So press escape to get out of that, and then let's see, fillet, not chamfer, fillet. And this time I'm going to choose that whole base there, not an edge, but a flat surface. Because here it says I can choose edges, faces, or features. I'm going to choose faces this time. It's going to be that face, so that's the bottom face. Okay, and then we do the same as before. Let's do a 2mm. That's, I'm going to have a problem here with this circle, so I'm going to make it 1 just to make it a bit curved, and then OK it. Let's just see what that looks like. All right, let's go into orbit. Maybe let's take the grid off. Let's take the grid away. There we go. And then we can see. Go into. There we go. I've put a curve on there. Right, so as you can see, there's a million and one things you could do, and you can have lots of fun tinkering around with it. But my warning is, don't mess around too much with it, because if this timeline gets into a mess, it makes it very difficult to go back and check things and change things. And if you end up with a whole row of things along the bottom here, then the best thing to do is just start all over again. Okay, so it's not like Tinkercad where you're just throwing things in. This is very purposeful, so you need to have an idea of what you're going to make before you start drawing. But for the purpose of this tutorial, that's okay. Okay, so we'll cancel that. Okay, so that's done. And now what I did was I then wanted to see what it looked like. So you go to render, and we can, let's just turn it around. There we go. We can see what that looks like. Let's take all this lot off. Oh, it's all gone completely. There we go. So I took away some of the, I took away all the sketches. They're not gone, they're just hidden. I took away the sketches, and that looks rather nice. Okay, there's a load of other things you can do. You can put backgrounds and decals on it and stuff like that, but I think that's enough for now. This looks interesting. Yeah, that's you can put a sticker on. Okay, so if you can achieve something like that, what you can then do is press escape and print screen. And there we are. Copy to clipboard and then paste it into your into a document or whatever. Okay.